We might encounter such people around us, right? They are heartthrobs, accepting admiration and affection from others, but they lack love, sincerity, and any intention to be responsible for a relationship. They only desire possession and control in their emotional entanglements, so one must be very cautious with such people. On that day, Vronsky went to the train station to pick up his mother. When the train arrived and he went to find his mother's carriage, he encountered Anna. From the moment he saw her, he was captivated. It was love at first sight. The perspective during love at first sight is crucial. In the chaotic background of the train station, Anna stands out as extraordinarily pure and noble. As Anna passed by Vronsky, her lovely face displayed a certain intimacy and tenderness. She turned her head, and her sparkling gray eyes, shadowed by thick eyelashes, focused warmly and attentively on Vronsky's face, as if trying to recognize him, before quickly turning back to the crowd, as if searching for someone. In that fleeting glance, Anna did not actually notice Vronsky, but he sensed the repressed vitality within her. He noticed that between Anna's bright eyes and her almost imperceptible smile with slightly flushed lips, there was a strong vitality. Thus Vronsky kept thinking about this woman. It was a coincidence that this woman's brother, Oblonsky, was someone Vronsky knew. Even more interestingly, during the train journey, Anna had already become familiar with Vronsky's mother. Vronsky immediately felt that their meeting was fated. At this moment, there was a small incident. Outside, there was a commotion, because someone had committed suicide by lying on the tracks under the train. Anna, now pale, whispered, "What an ominous sign." This detail subtly hints at Anna's eventual fate. So, what happened next? Let's continue. When Anna arrived at her brother's house, her sister-in-law Dolly had been waiting for her for a long time. Dolly sought Anna's help, saying, "You must help me. I don't know what to do." At this moment, Anna comforted Dolly, saying, "Sister-in-law, I understand more than you about men's flirtations in high society. If you still love my brother, then forgive him." What is Anna's focus? It is love. Do you still love my brother? And only love matters. Flirtations can be forgiven. Before dinner, the family gathered for tea and chat, and Kitty also arrived. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Who walked in? Vronsky. When Anna saw him, she had a strange expression of both joy and panic. Vronsky came in briefly and found an excuse to leave without entering the living room. Kitty, sitting there, thought the man was there for her, but since there were many people, Vronsky didn't want to come in. In reality, Vronsky was simply looking for an excuse to check if the woman who had captivated him, Anna, was present. On the third day, Anna attended a ball. Wearing a black velvet dress, she exuded the radiance of a mature woman in every movement. Her extraordinary grace and demeanor outshone all the other girls present. Anna was indeed stunningly beautiful, and Vronsky found himself irresistibly drawn to her. Next, Vronsky invited Anna to dance several times, and soon they became the center of attention at the ball. Anna was starting to be moved, but she was also very aware of how unreal everything was. She was already married, and this romantic encounter felt like a beautiful dream. So, after the ball ended, Anna left hurriedly without even having dinner, intending to avoid getting closer to Vronsky. She decided to return to Petersburg the next day. At the ball, Kitty realized that Vronsky had no interest in her at all, leaving her disheartened and deeply regretful. She had rejected Levin's proposal, and now it seemed she had made a grave mistake. Vronsky was completely indifferent to her, and as a result, Kitty fell ill, her health deteriorating. As Kitty's sister-in-law, Dolly decided to visit her. She found Kitty sitting in a low chair, with hollow eyes and a dazed expression. Dolly, who was also suffering in her own marriage, comforted Kitty by saying, "Vronsky isn't worth all this pain." Kitty's voice trembled as she replied, "He isn't worth it. He doesn't see me at all. I won't debase myself to love someone who doesn't love me." Dolly then asked, "What about Levin?" At the mention of Levin, Kitty became agitated and exclaimed, "Don't bring up Levin! I won't go back to loving someone who has changed their heart." Kitty's words struck at Dolly's deepest pain, and Dolly burst into tears, with Kitty joining her in a tearful embrace. The two sisters are both hurt by their emotions. When you are hurt, you often create an excuse to escape, using it as a reason, but it doesn't soothe the heart. At this moment, the only thing these two sisters can do is cry, which is a common reaction for many women dealing with emotional wounds. Why is this subplot about Kitty and Levin included in the book? It serves as a contrast. It shows how people are so different in life, in love, and in everything. They make different choices and face different outcomes. Let's return to Anna. On the day after the ball, she boarded the train back to Moscow. She told herself that it was all over. The handsome Vronsky who had touched her heart was just a brief interlude in her life. From now on, Anna would return to her daily routine, and everything would return to how it was before. But Vronsky didn't give up. He was already infatuated. To pursue Anna, he followed her all the way to Petersburg. When Anna saw Vronsky suddenly appear in front of her in the train carriage, she was astonished, then her face lit up with joy. "Love is impossible to hide." Anna softly said, "You're back too?" Vronsky stared at Anna and said, "Wherever you go, I'll follow." This was a confession, making Anna both excited and scared. Anna looked down and said, "Please forget what you've said. I will too." But Vronsky insisted, "Every glance, every movement of yours, I'll never forget." Anna pretended to be stern and said, "That's enough, enough." But inside she felt a bit of happiness. After all, she was being confessed to by a man she admired.